Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Sid's Blue Sky Farm. As promised in our short that we put up earlier today, we're going to get ready and go do some miscellaneous projects. Things that are really necessary, but they just don't mean a lot to you as you're doing them. They're not big projects that are kind of fulfilling. They just work, just chores that you got to get done. So in the next few minutes, we're going to go down and we're going to skim the top of the pool with a net, get what we can, big leaves off the bottom with a net, add chemicals. We're going to get the top skimmer running. We're going to recharge the bottom skimmer, try to get the pool done for today. Then we're going to move over and we're going to hang the last row of bar lights, just small lights that go on the inside of the bar just to illuminate a little bit at night. Not a tough project, just one of those that you just put off, or at least I put off. So we'll get to work on that. Then after that, we're going to do one of my least favorite things. We're going to hook up the trailer to the side-by-side, get some gloves, maybe some safety glasses this time, and go around and pick up pecan limbs because they are everywhere. My wife and mother-in-law enjoy making little tiny piles, so I have to stop 35 times and pick up little tiny piles instead of one big pile. But hey, they're helping. They're trying to make things better. So let me make sure I get that in there. We'll pick up those piles. We'll try to clean up some of the junk that's there. And it's time to start thinking about putting the cover on the pool. The leaves are coming down. It's just so very dry. It's a mess out here. Leaves everywhere. Just the whole yard's flooded with them. And they're headed to the pool every day. So the cover will probably go on in the next week or so, and that's always a chore. You spread it out, get it situated, and then sandbag it. Dragging 60-pound sandbags is never a lot of fun, but we'll make sure that that gets done. I'm going to next move over to my mother-in-law's house. I've got some bucket garden material to clean up, get some of those torn out and moved away. And we'll add a little water to some of the hydrangeas over there that look pretty puny with no water at all in the last month, 5 weeks. So that'll happen. Then we're going to work our way down to the pool. I have ignored the fish all week. They're going to be aggravated, so I'll take a lot of food down there and try to revive the billions of bait fish that are there by the dock. And hopefully, just hopefully, we won't run across any snakes this morning, but we will have the necessary means to solve that problem should it arise. What I have in my hand here is something that just kind of intrigued me this morning. And now, obviously, I'm easily amused, but it's just a little watermelon. I'll show it to you. And just think about the intricate patterns. I mean, it's the darker greens, the lines, almost like a tattoo, the little stem. And it just struck me as odd how this perfectly miniaturized melon should grow into a large, juicy, sweet watermelon. This little fellow just ran out of time. The vine's dead, so I just pulled him up. But as I said, I'm easily amused. It kind of reminded me of the tiny corn, tiny watermelons, but I don't think they work the same way. Okay, it's hot and I'm probably feeling a little goofy. We will go and get started with this stuff. Like I said, I think we'll just knock out the limb problem next. That's the biggest one. And the last thing we're going to try to do before we take a break for lunch is get the new pecan trees that we set out this year some water. After all this work, all this effort, I just don't want to lose those things to this crazy drought and hot weather. So we'll get started and we'll film whatever we think is appropriate. Then at some point in the day, we'll come back and say goodbye to everybody. But it's going to be a busy day, just not a real fun day. But it's always good to be here. So don't let me sound negative about that. It's always good to be here at Blue Sky Farm. We'll see you in a little bit. It's a deep one, 12 feet. Okay. Well, believe it or not, I brought 2 drill bits. Not just one that didn't fit. I brought 2. Not the whole set, but 2. So I had a fighting chance at it. I didn't bring the drill motor. Now we're back in action. Let's see if we can make this simple project move forward. Or all right. All right. Ooh. All right. That's not good. All right. Lights all the way around. I like it. Don't love it, but I like it. Okay. Very good. Project done. Thank goodness. Okay. The bar lights are up. Chemicals are in. Making progress. Pool's cleaned. Got the robot skimming the top. So remember, today is miscellaneous projects. Those things that make you sweat through your clothes, but don't add up to really big stuff. They just have to be done. So project next is the recharge. Let's get the bottom skimmer recharged. Well, it should be charged. Let's go on and I think it's Aper. Has been a good one. We've had it for 3 years until it's starting to show some wear and tear, but ooh, not sure what that was. I think it just picked up a piece of wire off the bottom. You just test it by turning it on. You should get a blue light. No blue light. Well, let's just make sure that it was fully charged. Let's just double check it. Oh, that was my phone. Disco the pool lights, bar lights, and let's see what it does. Check our connections. Okay, green light, charged. That's not good. Maybe it was stuck. Let's see anything else. I think it's dead. Just go ahead and strike that part about how everything's working really well. Things are going, oh, noise. Eesh. Okay, that's not great. Okay. This thing should run for about 3.5 hours. On the bottom, it's got a little bucket. You can see this little piece drops down. There's a bag inside. It just sucks stuff up in there, and away we go. I always think if you just tap on everything lightly, sometimes it just makes sure everything works right. Bag's empty, so I thought I had cleaned it out. All right, it's going to be fixed and work perfectly well. All right, put piece of junk. Well, maybe 3 years is all you get out of one of these things. It's not playing. Okay. All right. Well, to be very honest with you, this thing impressed me with the work it did when it was running. So if it's dead, it's dead. What do? Go buy another one, I guess. Okay. Now we move on to something I really don't enjoy doing. Let's go and see if we can pick up some pecan limbs, because they're down every week, almost every day. So we'll go hook up the trailer. Say goodnight, April. All right, I think it's time for a new bottom skimmer. Okay, let's take the tools back, get the trailer on the side-by-side, and get some gloves to get started. Just as an update, we did make one fairly sizable change. Decided to get the truck out instead of the four-wheeler, pulling the trailer. A sizable load of limbs and bits and pieces. So no need to burn the clutch or the transmission out of the four-wheeler, and we can side by side, so we can just use the old truck, pull it around, and haul it down to the burn pile. If you ever wonder why we call it Sid's Blue Sky Farm, just take a look at that absolutely beautiful sky. Now, I wish some of those clouds would darken up and bring us a little rain, but I don't think that's going to happen either. But I'll tell you, it is a beautiful day. Temperature is holding pretty well. Just a little breeze. So that's a wrap for Saturday chores. It really didn't amount to much, but got a lot of little picky things out of the way. I hope you guys have a great week. If we get into anything like bush hogging, field really needs it, but it is so dusty and dirty. I really hate to even think about it, but it's got to go one more time. We'll do a little filming of that and anything else that comes up. But in case we don't talk to you until later on in the week, have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.